Wow. Welcome back to Screen Fiend, and the legendary Stan Lee has passed away, and I know you probably heard me talk about it on the other sites, but I ain't tell you, Stan Lee was so funny, and I've met him twice in my life. For those who never got a chance to meet him, he's a great approachable guy. And he told me what was going to happen. He said, Star Wars and Titanic, they won't be the top movies of all time pretty soon. He said in 20 years, you're going to see a comic book movie blow all these guys away. It's going to be nothing but comic book movies. Everybody's from the comic world is going to move over to movies and start making them. And they're going to start banging them out. And this is when Spider-Man was out. I think was Spider-Man the very first one. This was 2002. If I'm not mistaken. 2002. And he was at one of those meet and greets. Met him. And Spider-Man was coming out. And when the very first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was coming out in 2002. So when that one was coming out, he was saying how pretty soon the big films won't be Star Wars. And like all those in the, Star Wars is not at his back. The bigger movies will be the comic book movies because there's so many different stories. Why Star Wars it comes out once every 3 years or so, and they last forever. Merchandising selling, but comic books is endless, and there's so many different stories to tell. He've always felt that. I met him after Iron Man was out, or was it Iron Man 2 in Las Vegas. I won't say Floyd was there because I don't know if Floyd was there for that. But I know I saw Nate Jones there. I don't know if we met Floyd that day, but we saw Nate. And what he basically told us was, we ain't seen nothing yet. And he was so proud of Black Panther. Very proud. And he was so happy when that film was out. He was one of the biggest supporters, and he was just hoping Black Panther do well enough to where they can continue the story. Because he said Black Panther's story is so interesting. There's nothing like we've seen before from the Marvel Universe. So he was very excited to see a character in the lead, a black character. He was like, because it was symbolized what had happened before, because they had changed the name of Black Panther for a while because of the civil rights movement. And people thought they named it after the Black Panther Party when actually the comic was out before that. So he said, man, we had some rough times just trying to keep the name Black Panther, and actually show some positive light by having a black superhero character, and they were going through it, and they were white. He's like, we're white, so we're getting it rough. During that time. And it was really hard and difficult for them to really put that comic out. So it was a risk. And he was very proud to have Black Panther as a comic book and to see it on the film and saw what it did, all the success, it was enriching for him, because it let them know they did the right thing, they were on the right track. And when, you know, Black Panther was being made, they were very happy that the studio agreed, you know, with the project. So out of all of them, he was very excited for Black Panther more than all of them put together. He was very happy for that one, because that took so much of a risk, and he's a risk guy. So once again for Stan Lee, you know, one time for Stan, man. You know, the guy has stories for days. You guys think I got stories? Stan Lee will wow you with his stories, his comic stories. Go pick up his book at Excelsior. You guys would definitely be fascinated by that book. Very, very intelligent human being. And like I said, most people who pass away, or their loved ones pass away, and they've been so close and bonded with him, the majority average is 2 years before they passed. When his wife died, who was his best friend in this whole planet, when she passed, it just damaged him so much. I mean, he was going through the motions, but people say, you know, he lost his best friend. You know, he was heartbroken, and it was hard for him to go home, you know, to the home that he shares that has her stuff in there, and some of her stuff is still, he never really had her stuff cleaned out, you know, like, so he always had reminders of her, so he never really fully recovered. And you can't, you know, that was his life partner, and now they're joined by the hip once again in spirit. So once again for Stan Lee, this is Screen Fiend, and we're out.